Today's topic is elasticity of demand. This is also given by Professor Marshall. Responsiveness of the demand to change in price of commodity is known as price elasticity of demand. Like that, responsiveness of the demand to change in income of the consumer is known as income elasticity. Responsiveness of the demand to change in prices of the substitutes and related goods. It's known as cross elasticity of demand. So elasticity of demand is what? Elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to the change in price. Change in price. Please note it down. Elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to the change in price, price elasticity of demand. With the change in income, income elasticity. With the change in price of the related goods and complementaries, cross elasticity of demand. When the price of the commodity changes, the demand responsiveness of the demand is also different. It depends upon certain factors like availability of substitutes, and that is demand for commodities having substitutes is very elastic, because if there is an increase in the price of commodity, people will start using other commodities, isn't it? So increase in the price of one commodity will induce a consumer to use the other commodities. The demand of commodities having no substitutes will be inelastic, not changing, such as salt. Second point is depends upon postponement of consumption. That is, the demand for commodities whose consumption can be postponed for some time, then it is elastic, just as the demand for BCR. It can be postponed for some time if prices are higher. Meanwhile, the demand for necessaries such as food grains are inelastic because their use cannot be postponed and depends upon the nature of the commodity. The demand of necessities is inelastic, not changing, and those of comforts and luxuries of life are elastic. This because certain goods which are essential for life will be demanded at any price, whereas goods meant for luxuries and comforts can be dispensed easily if these goods appear to be costly. Next point is different uses of the commodity. A commodity which has several uses will have an elastic demand. On the other hand, a commodity having only one use, it will have inelastic demand. When the price of a particular commodity having many uses declines because it's used in many activities, with the results, its demand increases considerably. The demand for paper increases very much when it becomes cheap. Like that, change in income. Demand for various commodities are affected in different degrees due to change in income. In case of increase in the income of the consumer, the demand for luxuries will increase. If the income falls, the demand for luxuries will fall. Like that, because of these factors, like availability of substitutes, postponement of consumption, depends on the nature of the commodity, different uses of the commodity, and change in income, like that, habits, joint demand, distribution income, all these factors influence the price elasticity of demand. So, elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to the change in price. By Professor Boulding, this is easy definition for us. What is elasticity of demand? Depends upon the factors, and the income elasticity of demand also depends upon the income of the consumer, cross elasticity of demand also. Price elasticity of demand is divided into 5 types. First point, perfectly inelastic. Say the word inelastic or zero elastic, not changing. Please make 5 columns and do it. 5 types of elasticity of demand. The second one is perfectly elastic. Third one is unit elasticity of demand. Unitary elasticity of demand. Fourth one is less than unit elasticity of demand. Less than 1 elasticity of demand. Fifth one is more than 1, ED. So here ED is equal to 0, no change in demand. Second one, ED is equal to infinity. Third one, ED is equal to 1. Other one, ED is less than 1. Fifth one is ED is more than 1. Like that, we have 5 types of elasticity of demand. Please make 5 columns and write, and we can understand little more. When we explain elasticity of demand, from the definition, we get the formula. What is that? Proportionate change in quantity demanded to the proportionate change in price. From the definition, we got it, this formula. That is, proportionate change in quantity demanded because of due to change in price. Or if it is a percentage method, we can say percentage change in QD. What is QD? Quantity demanded of a commodity divided by percentage change in price. Then that answer has to be converted into percentages. Percentage change in ED. ED percentage method. Please by heart this formula from the definition itself. QD by P, my students made the short form. Could be QD at the top with respect to price. We can derive the formula, sums are coming. So ED is equal to, from the formula, proportionate change in quantity demanded. So change in QD with the original quantity. Yes, divided by quantity. D stands for quantity demanded, quantity same. Change in price by original price. Two fractions are there. Instead of QD, I make it as delta Q, then becomes simple. Divided by Q, same. This is QD or Q. And the two fractions coming, second one we can make it is ulta. P by delta Q. P by delta P. So what's the answer now? Delta Q upon delta P by rearranging the terms into P by Q. This is the equation we derived now. Elasticity of demand, what's the change in quantity divided by change in price into original price by original quantity. Price was 10 apples story. With that itself you can do this sum. Change in price, change in quantity with original price and original quantity. So we got the way how to do the sum also. This equation also we have to derive. So in the case of 5 types of elasticity of demand, and the first one is perfectly inelastic. What is the meaning of that? We can start with an example, salt. Salt is the example of zero elastic or perfectly inelastic demand. What does it mean? The demand for the salt remains almost constant with the change in price also. Perfectly inelastic means, one example, salt from our daily life. The demand for salt remains almost constant. What does it mean? We can show by a diagram. Please draw X and OY demand curve. OX shows quantity demanded, demand. OY, please write price. The demand curve in this case is vertical to OX axis. What does it mean? Price may be 1 rupee, 2 rupee, 3 rupee, 4, 5. Demand for salt remains 1 kilo, 2 kilo for a family. That's why it's a very general example also. Demand is zero elastic, not changing. Demand is not changing. Demand is inelastic, not changing. In comparison to it, there is another concept we have, perfectly elastic demand. Demand for a commodity is perfectly elastic when the demand for it may increase or decrease to any extent, irrespective of any change in price or very small change in price. In real life, we never come across any such commodity which has perfectly elastic demand. Therefore, we can say it's a purely imaginary concept. Elasticity of demand, ED is equal to infinity. We can draw the diagram on the basis of this concept. compare and contrast diagram OX and OY. OX we can make same demand curve. Normal demand curve is quantity demand here, price here. OY, please draw. And the demand curve as per the theory is parallel to OX axis. That is, price remains constant and the demand for the commodity is sometimes less, sometimes more, like that. EP or some textbooks telling EP, price elastic demand, ED elastic demand, same. Elasticity of price equal to infinity. This is shown in the diagram. What does it mean? Price here constant and the demand sometimes depends upon the need of the consumer. It may be less or sometimes it may be high, like that, irrespective of any change in price. It may increase or demand may increase or decrease. So one is zero elastic, other one is perfectly elastic. Third one we have, that is unitary elastic. Write the heading, unitary elastic. Yes, from the word itself, EP or ED equal to 1. OX and OY, and the answer becomes a rectangular hyperbola. OX, please draw, quantity demanded, and OY is price. ED is equal to or EP is equal to 1. For example, we know the formula ED is equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in price. That's a formula. Simply we can say faster. So 50% reduction in price leads to 50% increase in demand. If it is so, answer equal to 1. Okay, unitary elastic demand, 50% normally price reduces, demand increases. 50% reduction price leads to 50% increase in demand for the normal goods. If it is like that, in order to draw diagrammatically, we can see that demand curve, and it is more or less like a rectangular hyperbola, and we can show that the difference here is 50% to show like that 1 centimeter here and here also 1 centimeter correctly it goes on like that. Here price coming down, here demand increases from OQ to OQ1. The difference here and this centimeter more or less same. Got it? Unitary elastic demand. Demand for a commodity will be said to be unitary elastic if the percentage change in the quantity demanded equals to the percentage change in price. So the numerical measurement of the elasticity will be equal to 1. When the demand changes in the same proportion as the price of commodity, the elasticity of demand is equal to 1. Like that, we have a example of elasticity of demand is more than 1 and elasticity demand is less than 1. Here, elasticity of demand is more than 1. The demand increase is more than price change. Fourth point is elastic demand is more than 1. Small change in price leads to a greater change in demand. So demand area is 2 centimeter and price reduction is less 1 centimeter. Like that, draw the diagram. And elasticity of demand is less than 1. In that case, when a considerable change in price does not lead to much change in the demand, does not lead to much change in the demand, then the demand is said to be less than 1. In that area, demand area less, considerable price reduction is 2 centimeters and the demand increase is 1 centimeter. Like that, we can show diagrammatically. Like that, we can see 5 types of elasticity of demand. So, assignment, tell me what are the questions. What is elasticity of demand? Different types of elasticity of demand. Different types of elasticity of demand. Then Third question, what we have? Different types of or different degrees of price elasticity of demand. Price के बारे में, price elasticity of demand, that is EP equal to 0 answer, hints. EP equal to 0, EP equal to infinity, EP equal to 1, EP is less than 1, EP is more than 1. Use diagram also. Distinguish between unitary elastic demand and elastic demand less than 1. What are the differences between EP equal to 0? Give examples. And infinite elastic demand, perfectly elastic, or ED is equal to infinity. Okay, thank you. Take care.